welcome to my Ninjago review for Season 11, Secrets of the Forbidden Ninjutsu, Episode 1. And not the Episode 1 and 2 combined, because that's how they are, the actual 11-minute Episode 1. Although this is not my English version review, so it's gonna be shorter because I don't know what they're saying as much, apart from some subtitles people are doing, but I know when fans do subtitles, it's not that I don't, trust their translations. I have no doubt they know how they're translating, but I like to wait until they do the official subtitles or the official English. But anyway, basically, this is released in Ukraine, and we still have to wait till the 22nd for the new season to release in English. As far as we know, the 22nd. It could change, but let's hope it doesn't. So anyway, putting obviously minor and major spoilers away without giving them away, because I don't want to do that. I will go in depth on my major ones, my English review, but since this is not English review, I'm going to try and limit the spoilers to this. Basically, the gist of it, as we know from teasers and trailers that are released and all the information, that has been all over the line, which, if you've been avoiding it, good, then this is still kind of a spoiler, but anyway, basically the first episode is like the first episode of Ninjago back in the day, where they're basically lazy, they're playing video games and eating cake and all that stuff, they've let themselves go, and and then Wu obviously comes in and basically retrains them. That's basically the gist of the episode. A lot of people didn't like this because of it. They thought they thought the filler was terrible and thing, which it's just annoying, and their reasoning is just ridiculous. But they're entitled to their opinion. Just don't say that it's also too childish because of it, because it's not childish. I've seen plenty of shows, and this is far from childish. And even the other stuff that I've seen that are way more what would be considered way more childish than this, where this is not close, they also have dark scenes. And this still has dark scenes in it for episode 3 and 4, which have been also released. Which I'll talk more about that when it comes. So, as for the animation, it's not downgraded. It's actually more detailed. It's bright, upbeat, and happy. So that's why it's and they're the things. When they say the animation is terrible, they mention in a way those things. It's like that doesn't make the animation terrible. That just makes it less like original season. And I guess that's what people are that's actually, even though they won't admit it, that's pretty much the main reason why people are mad about this season. It takes a different direction from there, which I kind of like the direction they're taking. I mean, they saved Ninjago from the Uni. I mean, what do you expect? You expect her just to be another dark threat? It's like, they gotta have some happy moments. Come on. They gotta have some breaks. Everyone's gotta have breaks sometimes. Anyway, and so excellent that. Now, yes, this animation doesn't look the best on the streaming site that it's on, but then again, you got to factor in your computer screen and how HD version. All different TVs, they have 4K and they bring out a new TV every time. So you got to consider all that stuff. That can sometimes diminish the animation from the thing. So let's wait also for the Cartoon Network release and see what happens to compare it then. But also remember your TV and all that. And also people, even though they should not be uploading to YouTube, you got to remember people upload it to YouTube, which can diminish the animation even further. So anyway, moving on, the title screen, the intro thing, which there's no intro for this, just like previous seasons have, the intro not part of it, and it does something different. It does that same thing as being the start of the season. We see the Ninjago logo, we see it burst into flames like in the trailer, basically because this season is fire. Although, why is it just fire doing it? Where's the ice? Unless, of course, I'm right, and the from other videos, it's actually going to be basically this half will be all by the fire snakes, and the next half will be all about the ice semi. But I mean, where is the ice? It's all fire. What about the ice semis? Aren't they a major threat? I guess they're not really the major threat. And so anyway, there's that. Also, if you look, there's no Master Spinjitzu like the previous seasons. So this in itself could mean it's a new series. It's not a reboot though. Cannot stress that enough. Because there's no Master Spinjitzu, just not make something a reboot. Which people are still... People are also annoyed that LEGO cannot make up their mind about being a new series, because we've seen them release their trailers 3 times now and change the title, or change the title at least. And first it said, just what it was, and then it said new series, and now it's saying new season. Yeah, that is kind of annoying, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's still Ninjago, it's still in the same universe, it still continues on the story. If it's a new series, fine. Plenty of shows have done new series. Ben 10 did new series, but it stayed in the same thing. Remember Ben 10, the Alien Force and Ultimate Alien? They were all new series, but they were the same story. Simple as that. So it doesn't mean anything. Then we have the episode title, which, the name of the episode, which is episode Wasted True Potential, which is a terrible name. I mean, even the second episode is terrible, but we'll get to that in the second. I'll explain that in the second episode. But this also leaves room for interpretation because there's no episode. So the only episode number we can go off is whatever the creators say, whatever LEGO says, and whatever the TV or streaming site says that we find it on. So it could be episode 1, or you could class as episode 99. There's no actually official, numbers on there. So we have to actually wait for the official creators to say if this is a new series or not, and if this is reset to episode 1. Which kind of is lame, because I would have loved to see episode 99 and then episode 100. Like, I would have loved to see episode 100. It's say 100. Because we got the 100 episode special, yes. But that wasn't episode 100. I want to see an actual thing where they actually say episode 100 and then the name of the thing. That would have been another thing about the episode that makes the animation different, and why people shouldn't be complaining as much about the animation, apart from it being just the animation style they decided for the season, is also at the end we find out, and it's actually a new animation studio. It's not Wilfilm anymore. Wilfilm. Okay, it's not, which means, considering the fact that it's not Wilfilm, and it's a new animation studio, that's another factor you got to factor in about the animation. It's more detailed, but if it looks downgraded, it may be because they just started taking over from Wilfilm as the animation studio, which means they've got to get into the groove of Ninjago and things. So don't hate on the animation. Express your opinion nicely and fairly and let the studio know in a way that obviously you don't like the way you're doing the animation, and then they should fix it if they're a good studio. Simple as that. Like, the studios, it's a leg. They gotta get a leg to stand on. Anyway, that's just another factor you gotta factor in. Another thing people found annoying about this was there's a lot of LEGO movie elements, as they call it. From the Wu fight scene when they're fighting, and you see a scene where it kind of does the whole narrow ninja thing, where they narrow the screen. And let me just say, there was one person that actually didn't think of the Ninjago movie when they saw this, which I'm happy that they didn't. I did, but I also thought of other things after the Ninjago movie. But it's just because Ninjago movie is based on thousands of different ninja movies, and this thing is a classic. It's not childish, because it's a classic for mature martial art films, ninja films. Like, adult ones have done it. So it doesn't make it childish. And some of the stuff that the people are saying are childish, it's not actually from this. The stuff isn't from childish stuff. It's actually there are mature based shows and series that do this same type of animation style. From the rush effect to the narrowing of the things. It's the thing. But one person actually brought up Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2012 series, when they saw the narrowing, and I was like, well, I'm so glad there's someone out there that's not thinking of the Ninjago movie and not trying to compare it to it. Another thing is also the chicken, which is a thing from the Ninjago movie, and people really think that this episode thing. Now, yes, I agree, the chicken may have been very heavily influenced, and all this may have been heavily influenced by the Ninjago movie, but it doesn't make it Ninjago movie. The chicken is the most one. And yeah, it was kind of weird, but at the same time, it's also to symbolize the fact that they've gotten so lazy and out of shape that they can't even beat a chicken. Although the chicken does have superpowers, which isn't really a surprise considering if you look at Ninjago and the way Ninjago is set out, it's not a surprise that there's an electrical chicken out there that has superpowers. And finally, after the episode ends, we see the credits, which is I don't know. It's a hit miss for me. It doesn't look good, but it's new. Again, the animation studio, so I'm not gonna completely badmouth it like other people. Then again, I didn't like season 10, 9, or 8 credit background. The credits background. So this one is just pretty much similar to that, the same as that. It's just too bland. You see a chicken there, and other episodes will have something else there. Won't spoil, but there we go. The reason chicken's in the first episode's credit is because obviously the chicken was a major part of the plot. But then again, the plot was so short. Like the episode is still way short. Anyway, but of course the episode 2 was released directly after it. So the way they aired the episode live makes I would say it's one episode. Even though it's 2 episodes, it's one episode. I'm going with one episode, which means I'm going with this season. It's 15 episodes because come on, I mean it's so short. And also, when I talk about the second episode, one thing that will remain consistent is the plot of this directly continues on with episode 2, and that is the same with episode 3 and 4. And I'm assuming that. But anyway, basically my view of this episode, looking at it, is I would say a 6.5 out of 10. I liked it. I liked the way they went. Yeah, there's no story development, but that doesn't really take away from the episode. It's good to see a casual episode every now and then. I like some casual episodes inside the main plot. That's what season 1 and season 2 did. They had casual episodes like them trying to get jobs and all that. It's the same thing. So 6.5 out of 10 for this, I will give it. So anyway, that does it for my review. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And in the comments below, let me know what you think of Ninjago, the new season, and what you think of the animation, and whether you are doing what everyone else is doing and completely bad-mouthing the thing without giving it a chance and letting it stand on its own feet get on its own feet and all that. And yeah, anyway, see ya!